I've played 429 PlayStation games, and somehow I still have over 12,000 unearned trophies. My completion percentage is, well...
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the...
let's just say embarrassing. And today, I'm trying to fix it. In the last episode, we managed to get my percentage up to 40.63%. And in today's video, we are going to be tackling my completion percentage in a completely different way. Now, one of the comments in a previous video stated that it's not just about getting platinums to improve your percentage, and you know what? They were right. So in this video, we're going to be making a massive dent in those unearned trophies by grabbing over 100 trophies across a multitude of games, with maybe 1 or 2 platinums sprinkled in for good measure. Welcome to episode 5 of my attempt to fix my trophy backlog. Make sure you check the playlist on the channel for the other episodes. Now, this starts with Marvel Rivals. This is a game I don't usually trophy hunt on. I just play it to relax, if you can believe it. I decided to jump on and try out some different heroes since my strategist gameplay needs a little bit of work and I haven't been playing for a while. I decided to play as Mantis and just picked up the trophy Victory and Bloom for assisting in a team wipe. It was at this point a light bulb went off in my head. Why don't I see what other trophies I can get in this game if I actually go for them? We followed it up by getting God of Treachery for getting the trophy related to Loki, and then West Coast Best Coast for assisting the Avengers in getting a KO with Hawkeye. I did attempt the rest, but a lot of them required specific team-ups. The problem is those team-ups require using characters that, quite frankly, in Season 8, well, they're bad. So I decided to waste no more time on this game, but the trophy dopamine was flowing, so I decided to see what other games I could get some quick trophies on. I pulled up my PSN profile, had a good look, and then came to a realization. I do not like going for multiplayer trophies. Honestly, I think it's PTSD from the PS3 era of gaming, where multiplayer was forced into every single possible game imaginable, even if the game didn't need it. It was then that I came across the next game where I could get a nice chunk of trophies on. Now, when I say games, I actually mean franchise. Every year, I do the exact same thing. Buy FIFA, get obsessed with Ultimate Team for a few weeks, realize I've spent way too much money, and then abandon it for the rest of the year. Because of that, my PlayStation profile is absolutely littered with half-finished FIFA and EAFC games. So I downloaded every digital version that I owned and went to work. Across 4 different games, I managed to grab 25 trophies. The funny thing is, a lot of them are basically the same challenge repeated every year. Score a precision shot, complete a bunch of precision passes, qualify for champions inside of the Ultimate Team section, create a custom tactic, you know, the usual FIFA checklist. The cleanup where it was only really one thing was FIFA 18. Going back to it felt like opening a time capsule from when women's football had just been introduced. You could only play international, there wasn't any teams. I knocked out the entire women's section of the trophies by playing a women's game, winning an international tournament, scoring a Fleur goal, getting 6 goals in a match. Now, the other games do have a women's game, but you just need to play one. You don't need to do anything else. FIFA 18 was where the chunk of it lay. The rest come naturally while flipping between different versions of Ultimate Team and career modes. Nothing here was particularly difficult, but that's kind of the point. 4 games that had been sitting abandoned for years suddenly got a nice little boost in their completion percentages, and the trophy counter started climbing. Next up is our only platinum of the video, Spider-Man Miles Morales. This game has been sitting in my backlog for one incredibly silly reason. When I first got my PS5, I accidentally downloaded the PS4 version and played that. By the time I realized my mistake, I'd already earned 10 trophies. I deleted it, downloaded the correct version, and it's been sitting there unfinished ever since. So I think it's time I finally clean this up. Miles Morales takes place after the events of the first Spider-Man game, with Peter Parker leaving New York for a while and Miles Morales stepping up as the main Spider-Man. At the same time, a conflict between Roxxon Energy and a group known as the Underground threatens the city. If you've played Insomniac Spider-Man games, you know exactly what you're getting here. Amazing traversal, great combat, and a surprisingly emotional story.
I can't. It's okay. I can't. Just let go. Let go.
Thankfully, the trophy list is incredibly straightforward. All you need to do is finish the game to 100% completion and then do a new game plus run. I did that, and a few hours later, another platinum added to the collection. If you want a full breakdown of the trophy list, I've already got a dedicated video on the channel. But for this challenge, all that mattered was getting another unfinished game off of that pile. The next game was one I already had downloaded recording for B-roll, and that is Hitman. Now, I've always thought Hitman desperately needs a platinum trophy, but unfortunately, this version doesn't have one. Instead, it has a massive list of trophies spread across multiple locations and content updates. I've also got another problem. Hitman wants you to be a silent assassin, and I like to go in guns blazing. Historically, those two things have never mixed well. Luckily, a number of the trophies can be earned in the tutorial section and early levels, so I decided to focus on cleaning those up first. I started by grabbing a couple of the disguise-related trophies, including Unexpected Guest and Meeting the Reaper, both of which involve you sneaking into places you're definitely not supposed to be. After that, I moved on to some of the assassination challenges. Tools of the Trade requires eliminating targets using multiple methods, while Defection Deterred has you manipulate events so that someone else does the dirty work for you. Once the tutorial trophies were finished, I moved on to some of the more random objectives hidden throughout the maps. One of my favourite ones involves shooting 4 bells on a boat in a place called Sapienza to summon a giant kraken from the sea, because apparently that's a completely normal thing that happens in a stealth game. I also picked up a handful of location-specific trophies for Paris, Sapienza, and Marrakesh, which require you to pick a spawn location and hide an item before finishing things off in the contract mode, where I created a contract, completed a featured one, and then posted a high score on one of the maps. Finally, I wrapped it all up with Security Defeated, which basically involves you tricking a guard into picking up a weapon you've left lying around to get it past security in order to use it on an enemy. By the time I was done, Hitman had gone from being one of those games I occasionally boot up for 5 minutes before realising I'm bad at it, to one that actually made a noticeable contribution to fixing the percentage. With Hitman done, we move on to our next game, and again, this is another one I'd used for B-roll, and that is Rocket League. Now, how this game got on my trophy list, I'll be honest, I have no idea. I don't ever remember playing it. But it's there, so we might as well get some trophies. I also wondered why it was always rated a 1 out of 10 difficulty and took only 10 hours to complete, considering it's a multiplayer game. Well, I picked up 23 trophies in about 2 hours of play, and I learned that after the first 40 minutes or so that a lot of the trophies can be attained in a private match with nobody on the pitch but you. Some of the trophies I obtained once I realised this were Helen's Pride for scoring 6 goals in a match, scoring a goal while reversing, winning a 1v1 game, using the boost for a total of 5 minutes, that one I just held the button down and driven around. Same goes for Wall Crawler, I just drove on a wall for 5 minutes. Winner for winning 5 matches, and we also got trophies for winning a 2v2 match and a 3v3 match. All the rest of the trophies were for random tasks, mostly collecting items for trophies like Pick Me Up, Budding Artist, Car Collector, all related to getting items, paints, and just customizing your car. We then knocked out trophies for watching a replay, completing a practice drill, getting a clean sheet, playing a game in 6 different stadiums, and getting a goal by knocking an opponent into the ball. Honestly, the 2 hours I spent playing this was an absolute blast. Although I am awful at it, I still managed a goal or 2, so keep an eye out on this one, as I might just go for the full platinum further down the line. I have always enjoyed first-person shooters, and one I used to spend a lot of time on was Rainbow Six. I was never any good at it, but I just enjoyed it. It had been so long that a while ago I decided to re-download it. Problem was, I did the same thing as Miles Morales. I downloaded the PS5 version instead of the PS4 version, and as soon as my account logged in, it auto popped the trophy for reaching level 50. This instantly put the game into my infamous 1% club. So as I was looking through my list, I decided to tackle this next. Like I said, I was never amazing at the game, but booting it up and hitting this shot in one of the first games had me with a renewed sense of confidence.
Swapping bags.
A good chunk of these trophies came naturally as you play the game, as long as you keep an eye out for the opportunities. You get ones for getting 5 kills with an AR, 5 kills with an SMG, 5 kills with a shotgun, finding the bomb within the first 15 seconds of the prep phase. And then we have trophies that you can really only get on defense, woodworker for placing 5 barricades, then you get one for reinforcing 2 breakable walls, and one for destroying 5 drones. I only managed to get one for attack, which was coming through, requiring you to breach and rappel through a window. Some of the role-specific ones we picked up were, oh yeah, for destroying a reinforced wall with a thermite charge. Lastly, a handful of trophies obtained purely in the loadout section. You've got one for applying 30 weapon skins, one for customizing a weapon, one for applying 50 weapon attachments. And similar to the reason we're here, because I'd already saved up 5,000 renown, as soon as I finished my first match, the trophy pot. All in all, I managed to get 13 trophies boosting this game out of the 1% club and up to about 32%. And last but not least, a game I already have the platinum for, but not the 100%, Astro's Playroom. This only has 7 DLC trophies. If you can count it as DLC, it was like a free thing that they added, and you can actually do it within your first playthrough if you know what you're looking for. There are 5 trophies for finding the 4 secret bots on specific levels, and then a final trophy for getting all 4 of them. There's a trophy for making the CPU chip punch a glass sphere with 10 bots on top of it. And lastly, there's a speedrun section with 8 levels requiring you to complete them all in under 7 minutes, which sounds a little bit more difficult than it is. The levels are very quick, and as long as you practice the jumps, you probably get it done in 1 or 2 tries. And there we have it, 126 trophies across 7 games, bringing the total completion percentage up to 40.40%. That's the biggest jump we've had in a video so far. Honestly, I had a blast. Being able to jump in and out of random games, pick up a few trophies and move on was such a nice change of pace. I wasn't constantly looking at a guide to find random collectibles. I just kept a couple of objectives in mind and played for fun rather than purely trophies. I'm sure I will go back and finish all of these at some point, but for now, we move on. If you've got any suggestions for games I need to clean up, or challenges you want to set for me, check out my profile with the link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, I'll catch you at the next ping.